I got this next segment now, which is called Heart's First Whisper. Through a series of questions, there's 9 quick questions we go through, and then your heart just pours that answer right out. There's no brain involved. What do you think?
Awesome. I love being moved with the heart.
When do you feel the presence of Source the most?
When I'm in nature alone.
Yes, that's great. And so are you in a part of the world where you can like walk out the door and walk into nature easily?
Um, I don't care if it's a patch of grass. If I find a square patch of grass, that's enough.
Right, with like a cricket and a ladybug, and then you got a full day right there, right?
Yes.
Cool. Number 2, what does preparing your heart mean to you?
Preparing your heart would mean to allow God to purge out all the junk, all the things that you've held on to that you thought were you and your identity, and allow it to fall away and allow the purity of your heart to stand strong. And to me, that is preparing your heart.
Number 3, when was the last time you truly forgave someone and what changed afterward?
What I've been working on is actually forgiving myself for my ignorance because before I awakened, I thought life was happening to me when I was actually part of it. I was co creating with God the reality that was happening. And I had to really take accountability and responsibility. And it hurt. And I was mad at myself, like angry as hell. Like, what the hell are you doing? And it's taken a lot to just forgive myself and give myself grace and being like, okay, you're learning. You didn't know, but now you know. So now when you know better, you do better.
Find a way we go through in life in the future where we don't blame and judge ourselves, and we don't even need to forgive ourselves because we just realize, it's happening for a reason, for our experience, for our knowledge and wisdom. And number 4, what's one sign or symbol that always reminds you you're on the right path?
I always see cardinals. So many synchronicities. If you guys want to follow me and go on my YouTube, you guys will see like I will do like signs and synchronicity videos because the angel numbers, I always get angel numbers like 1111, 222, 333, 444, and then I always will get certain spirit animals.
And next is what kind of love were you missing before the NDE?
I would say self-love. I was missing self-love and I was also missing dynamics of love because love is not like black and white, and there's so many different like me and you coming together right now and having this conversation. We are exchanging and giving love to one another. So many different like types of love, and how it's like cultivated from within. So it was like even though I wanted love so bad, I wanted to experience love so bad because I was a loving person, but I wasn't giving it to myself. And so I've had to really, really learn about giving love to myself so that I can experience different loves with other people, whether it's just, with my child or with a significant other, with, being vulnerable on here for the world.
That's right, to share this experience, which, like you said earlier, if it helps even one person, it's without a doubt more than worth it. You were missing that love for yourself, and how has that changed now?
It has been a journey, let me tell you. Everything has changed. My whole life has changed just by taking every single day and trying to love myself correctly. A big thing is becoming connected back to my body because a lot of the trauma and things I went through, I disassociated. So being able to actually even connect with my body has been a huge thing as well.
What part of you had died, and then what part was born in that bed?
What died was already the parts of me that were dead, that I didn't need anymore. I would love to say that it was one wham bam and that was it and I didn't have any more, but it was just the beginning. It was just the start of unraveling everything. So afterwards, I mean, I had to, it was literally like learning how to walk again, learning how to, even though I didn't physically have to learn how to walk again, even though I was still, I had a lot of healing to do physically afterwards, but it was more of the old ways of my karmic patterns, of the ways that I was doing things, not loving myself, allowing people to mistreat me, allowing, being around narcissists all the time, and just giving people excuses because they were my friends or my family, and, living for everybody else, and it was just the beginning. It was just like a light switched on. Then I had to rebuild, and that's what I'm still in the process of doing 8 years later, is trying to rebuild and build something new from the death, from the demolition. How Source showed it to me is like, okay, you had an old creaky house. We bulldozed that whole creaky house, and that was a lot, but then we had to till the ground. We had to do the whole ground, and we had to lay the foundation, and then now I'm over there just trying to get some framework up, and some integrity for what God wants to build through me now. So basically, a old creaky house died, and we're building a new one, a mansion.
As you connected with your higher self, your soul, God, source, what was the message to you for that part of you that used to feel unloved?
It's that we are deserving of love and worthy of love, and we're enough just the way we are. So there's nothing that you have to prove, there's nothing that you have to do, there's really nothing that you have to become to earn anybody's love, because you are the essence of love. God in you is the essence of love. So allowing love to overtake your spirit, even if you're going through bad things, don't identify with those things as who you are, because you're not those things. Those are just experiences that you've gone through to help you learn and gain wisdom.
If the new earth had a single law, what would it be?
It's just unconditional love. That's the law for all beings, the earth, everything. Because when you have that love there, that unconditional love, you're going to have the grace. You're going to treat, it's going to be a humane society. A lot of us are missing is the love, the unconditional part, because we're taught that we get love based on the way we look, by how we perform, or something like that, and that's not true. Those are illusions that we have to break through. That's just because that's what we've experienced in this life from other imperfect people. So we're all just really learning, what is this thing called unconditional love? Like, what is that? What does that look like? And it looks like, can you still love yourself if you have wrinkles, if you're skinny, or if you're fat, or if your voice is different, or this or that? Can you still know that, like, you were made that way on purpose, with specific gifts and talents just for you, just to reach and connect with the people that you're supposed to reach and connect with?
Does it feel like we choose these lives before we're born?
I think that we choose as we go. Like, I think that we are presented with this gift of life, and there's so many different directions that you can take it. And it's like a test of your soul to see, like, what are you going to make of it? What are you going to make it? Are you going to make it into a paradise world? Even if I'm not talking about circumstances, because there's people that have had, bad things happen to them, and they still choose love. There's people that have good things all the time, and they still choose hate. So it's really like about that conditioning of the heart. I don't think that this is our home at all. Like I said, that's why it's important to prepare your heart and not being attached to people, places, or things too, because love is not attachment. When I was ready to go, I was gone. I was like literally about to to go. And I was okay with that and have attachments to anything. I loved everyone and I loved God. I didn't, there was no need for something else.
Is death the right word, or is there a better word like transition? How would you describe it?
To me, death would be like a separation from God. So you can be alive here on planet Earth and be dead, no connection with spirit. So you're walking around like a zombie. I always tell people in the zombie apocalypse, prepare your heart. Not a zombie bunker, prepare your heart. That you don't have anything to be scared of if your heart is right before God. I had hard circumstances and I wasn't happy. My heart was still pure. Death would be to me like a separation from source.
What's your impressions now of the differences between religion and spirituality?
Well, I love this question because because I grew up Christian and then now I'm an oracle, right? I still consider myself Christian and spiritual. So a lot of like Christian people don't like me because I do oracle and tarot cards, and then a lot of people in the spiritual community don't like me because I talk Jesus and and Yeshua, outcast from both groups of people. Work and stuff that I did, I had to dig into a lot of limited belief systems when it comes to religion, because I thought even if I picked up an oracle deck that I would go to hell. Like I was that scared. So for to see me have a whole business and I'm on here and I'm sharing my story, it's a huge thing. It's a huge step. Nobody can tell you. You have to have an experience with God. What I have taken from spirituality, like I use crystals to heal, I do grounding outside, I use sound healing frequencies, I use oracle decks, things like that. Those things have aided me. And with religion, there's a lot of things that I learned that were the basis of my faith. My relationship with Christ, what Christ is, what does it look like to love someone? I embody all that it is. This spiritual journey, it's yours with God. And you have to be able to learn through experience and really use your heart space, to decipher the truth, because God wants to give us the truth. God is love and truth.
Any final message or piece of guidance that you'd like to leave with listeners, especially those who may be on the edge of awakening into spirituality or just beginning their healing journey, maybe from trauma?
Yes, I would say do not give up on yourself. This is the hardest. This is what I would like to call the hero's journey. This is the wounded warrior's way. The people that could heal the best are the ones that have actually experienced it. So we've experienced these painful things for a reason, so that we can be able to help heal other people that have gone through similar situations. So we have to understand that it's not all about us. Our healing journey, yes, is about loving ourselves, learning to love ourselves, but it's to be able to radiate out the light so that, everyone knows that they're enough. And so just take it one day at a time. Don't go too far into certain weird things. If you start feeling in your spirit and your intuition, to just be very careful, because there's a lot of different kinds of doctrines and different things out there. And some people can even go into like psychosis and they go crazy, and people are like, whoa, they fell off the deep end. And it's very easy to do, but make sure you're spending a lot of time by yourself so that you can hear God speak to you. And also make sure you're praying a lot. Make sure that I always say, either get some Palo Santo, like some holy wood, burn some holy wood, put on some music, really clear your energy, like take spiritual baths. Don't be intimidated as well, because God will open up your understanding when you're ready. Because there's plenty of people on the spiritual path that are way more far along than me, and when they speak, I'm like, okay, they're talking a whole nother language. And then there's some people that are where I was when I first started, where I didn't even know half of what I'm talking about right now. So we're all at different levels of this soul journey's growth, and nobody's better than anyone else. And it's just important for us to give ourselves patience and as we go through this, okay? And know you're not going crazy.